Hi guys. So I'm just here cleaning and I'm not gonna cry in this video because there's been a lot of purging. All the videos I've been watching has basically been confirming the collective energy. I was called to do a reading maybe 2 hours, going on 3 hours now. Recently. I don't even think I've slept yet, honestly speaking, from cleaning to organizing. I really don't even think that I've slept yet, to be honest with you guys. And I just wanted to make this video because I wanted to tell you guys more of like a follow-up of like my recent video from before, basically. So how do I even start off this video? I have no idea. But basically, it's early in the morning, and I think I told you guys in a recent video that there's been a lot of like big decisions that I have to make that have been weighing on me. And it's like all coming full circle. We had the new moon in Scorpio, which was a huge, you know, boost of energy, huge boost of energy. And I'm so proud of all of you. I'm so proud of myself. I feel like I'm finally breaking through the information that I need for this life, to survive this life, to be all that I can be. I feel like I'm finally getting there. And you guys know how everything works in this dimension. As soon as you're getting there, there's these artificial, superficial blocks that most of the time people try to put up to stop the progress, you know? And when I've needed time to purge and be alone and think of my thoughts, I do. And it's just been a really long road, you know? Like, for some reason, like almost the whole week of last week, it was just like meditation and sleeping. Besides work, it was just like really focusing on the energy and trying to figure out like what I want to do, what I have to do, what's the plan, you know? And my intuition is never wrong, you know? My intuition is never, ever wrong. And it's so crazy how people will always talk about the ones we think are closest to us, or people that we think should like have our back, you know? They're the ones that can cause the most pain. And I think from the purging of last week, it's been this oh my God, is this like a feather? Guys, I swear there's this white feather. Do you guys see that? That is proof. You can't tell me that's not proof. Just literally flew down out of nowhere, right in front of me. Oh my God. I'm beside myself. So basically, from last week into this week, I feel like there's been a purging, there's been a realization, there's been a, not just, I don't even think awakening is the right word, but there's just been such a clear cut clarity, you know, that's been coming over me. And I'm not going to say that it's, you know, people that have tried to harm me or have tried to hurt me, like, I'm pretty sure they're going to think it's about them, but it's not. Like, it's not them. It's actually people that don't be on social media, you know, if I put it that way, like that are not like, you know, my age, if you will. And I don't have all the evidence just yet. I think down the line, I'll talk more about that and what I'm trying to get at. But for now, I really don't want to say because it's fresh. But basically, I have a strong feeling that this is why. Well, I know it, that's why, but I'm saying like behind the scenes, I think this is why it's been the way it is. This tug of war. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, I just want to put out here and say for the record that when I put my services on hold, when I paused my website, I paused it for a lot of reasons. I paused it because I wanted to have more of a system that can properly vet the people that were emailing me. And I wanted to possibly hire somebody because the magnitude of people that were requesting my services was such at a scale like that. The method in which I was emailing people back and, you know, delivering their service and their reading and all that, while I was still in school and while I was still uploading at the time, I felt like I didn't feel like I had enough time to keep up with that kind of demand, because I was not expecting that kind of demand, you know, not to be like making any kind of innuendo to ego or anything like that. It's just, I genuinely did not expect that, you know? And I felt like there was more things professionally that I wanted to have in order to move forward with servicing you guys one-to-one privately. So with that said, besides the logistics end and, you know, the magnitude in which I would have had to have a scheduling system, a booking system, which at the time I didn't have. It was kind of like first come, first serve. And as soon as I reached capacity, I'd put sold out, which is, if you look at my website, it still actually says sold out because that's what I had to do repeatedly, you know? And so besides all those little ticky-tacky logistics things, I'm going to have to follow you guys up with this at a different time in a different space. A lot of those other blockages were not by my own doing. I'll just put it that way. It wasn't the website's doing, it wasn't nothing like that. It was personal, blockages. I'll put it that way. It was a personal block or personal blockages that held me back from helping you guys. And I think that this whole past week that I've been sitting on this and thinking about all these things I want to do and where I want my life to go, the trajectory, you know, the space that I want to live in, all these different things, I feel like I'm kind of at this point now where I'm forced to make these big decisions. You know, I feel like I'm kind of at a tipping point where life is not waiting for me anymore, you know, to make these big curtain calls. I don't want to feel rushed. I don't think it's wisdom to ever feel rushed to do anything you don't want to do. But at the same exact time, it's like, well, if there's all these signs and all this confirmation and like, you know, your gut, if everything aligns, you know, go with it. You know, that's my belief is like, if all the stars are aligned, if all the stars are aligned, so to speak, you know, you should go with what you know, what you feel. So I'm kind of in a weird spot where I'm at multiple crossroads. And so whoever comes across this video or gets to replay this video, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm sure people are getting ready for work or they're still sleeping or whatever. So I'm not expecting a bunch of, you know, boatload of people to be on here at this early because I haven't slept yet. But when you guys get to this video or get to watch it back, I would really appreciate the positive energy. I'd really just appreciate all the best wishes and good vibes and, you know, things of that nature, because I want to be here for you guys. You know, I want to keep coming on here. I want to keep doing what makes my whole heart sing and what makes me happy. And I was looking at when something was said, I was looking at my dog, and I almost felt like we had this like moment of her like really understanding like all the things I've been through. It's a little, I can't go too deep in that, but it's like that moment when that thing was said to me, I was like, okay, so this is what's going on, like this is something that there's a battle, there's a battle going on that I'm not even a part of, that other forces are a part of, trying to stop not just my progress, but you all's progress. Because I know fundamentally that if I'm not on here to deliver messages or updates or, keep you guys in the loop, I feel at my core that it's at a detriment, and it's like there's messages that you guys are missing, and it's hard. It's genuinely hard working. I hate to use the word regular, but it's genuinely hard, guys, to be working a regular job or a quote unquote 9 to 5, and you're still so connected to the realness of the I am, the isness of us all. It's hard to get time to like if I could, I would be pumping out, all 12 zodiac signs, videos right now with all the perfect lighting, all the perfect cards, all the perfect images. Like I really would, I really would. And the only reason why I feel like on that end of it, I've not really been able to do my very best is because I'm limited, I'm limited in certain ways that I feel are getting old, and it's like I'm at this crossroads where I'm like, I'm tired of it, I'm tired of these blockages. I'm tired of bucking up into the same old ideologies, even religion, I'm tired of fighting these not, I'm not fighting it, but I feel like I'm tired of other things trying to throw me into that pit when I don't care about that and I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm so focused on self-improvement. I'm so focused on our mass grand awakening. I'm so focused on where I know humanity needs to be. And it's so sad when people say that it's your own people, or there's all these quotes, but they talk about where they say that it's certain things, that you're just born into, that either tries to limit you or does limit you or wants to change your mind, and that will never happen. I'm saying? I have my own mind. I've always had my own mind. And I'm not entirely shocked, but I'm kind of just at this point where I'm like, it's 2023, it's 2023. And we still have these weirdos, roaming the earth that want to tell people how to think, tell people how to eat, tell people how to love, tell people how to live their life. It's so strange to me. So I feel like I'm kind of left with like no other option but to go in a very extreme way. Like I feel like, I feel like I'm almost at this point, guys, where I have to like really go all in, if you will. I can't just be sitting on the sidelines, waiting for things to shift. It feels like there's an undercurrent now that I'm being forced to be swept up in, where it's like they're not really giving me an option. It's like I either need to live out my full dreams and figure something out, or I'm wrapped up in someone's old program or belief system that doesn't work for me. That's like the best way I can put it. I don't want to go too personal. I don't want to say too much on here that I'm not in the place to speak on or say unless you know, down the line in a, a better time, at a different time, I will definitely talk about it with y'all. But I will just say this, just like people say that fame is not for the faint of heart, neither is being spiritual, and neither is being awakened. Let me just put that very plain Jane with y'all. It is no joke. When you begin to know your personal power, people will call you a witch. People will call you demonic. People will call you all sorts of things that makes no sense. You know why? Because they fear the truth. They fear you. They fear that you know something that they don't know. And they want to be in they want to stay in a sheep-like, sleep-like state. You know, they want to. But I know too much to ever go back there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've grown so much. I've learned so much. I feel so whole, so complete, so grounded in what I believe, what I know. The information that I've gained has changed my life. I would never, ever, 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 ever go back to what I was conditioned to believe and what I was conditioned to be like, that kept me in a very, very, very sleep-like state, a robot-like state, that was a shell of a person that didn't know her potential. That person's dead. That person doesn't exist. This is Simone. This is the real Simone. And I know way too much about the universe, way too much about law of attraction, way too much about manifestation, way too much about our political systems, astrology, astronomy. I know too much, guys. You know, I could have had the chat open, but it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. You know, I was trying to just get on here and put this out here. But I know too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you wake up, you can't go back to sleep, guys. You just can't do it, you know? And it's a crime against yourself. It's a crime to turn on something that you do believe that does work for you to appease other people. And I'm so strong in that, and I'm so confident in that everything, every person, every even object in my life that doesn't align with how I want to feel and how I want to live, I'm not settling, you know? I'm not settling to think like someone else. I'm not settling to live like someone else. That's not what I'm placed here for, you know? There's some people, just to give you guys an example, there'd be some people in the world that just want to have kids so their kids can be like them. You know, if they're a soccer player, they want their kids to be a soccer player. If they're a doctor, they want their kids to be a doctor. It's like they don't believe in they really don't believe in freedom. They really don't believe in, you know, self-expression. They don't really believe in somebody having their own mind, no matter what age they are, no matter if they're 2 or 20 or 90. You know what I'm saying? And there could be, you know, even certain friendships and things like that. People, you know, even work culture, you know, there's all these different kind of programs in society that want people to stay in a box, and that want people to follow a script, and that want people to look like them, talk like them, act like them. And 99% of the time, you'll find that people that act like that are not rich, are not inventors, are not really successful, and are gravely unhappy. You know, people that settle for that, they're never happy. They've never got to the full peak or happiness that they could be at, because why? They've settled. They've settled. So I'm not poo-pooing on anything in particular. What I'm saying is it's a whole package. It's a whole lifestyle. It's how people carry themselves, you know? And I'm not the kind of person where if I think something in particular, if I'm having a conversation with someone or whatever, I don't expect that person to think like me. But there's people could be NPCs, whatever. There's people that roam the earth that's their whole thing, is they want people to be like them. And then when something comes along and challenges that, when something comes along that is better, quite frankly, and actually gets results, they're bothered. They get scared because they don't want to be challenged, and the whole thing with spirituality is that you are challenged. You know what I'm saying? You are challenged. You are awakened. You face 90% of things that people don't face, and you understand how the world works and how people work and how they operate more than anybody else. I was listening to a video yesterday, late morning, and the video only had like 68 views. The person only had like 100 or 200 subscribers. And it was one of the best videos I've ever seen in my life. And yes, it was from a person who was quote unquote spiritual, right? And it was the best freaking video I've ever heard in my life. I kid you not. And I hope this audio is working, because I don't trust YouTube like this anymore. Unfortunately, with this, they've been messing with my stuff. I don't know what they've been, the update is lagging or whatever, but I keep having to check my volume nowadays. But it's sad, guys. It's sad that sometimes we can't elevate unless we change our environment, unless we get rid of some people that we call or consider friends or family or close ones, It's sad, but what I've learned and what I know and what I've been learning more than ever, especially this past week and a half, is like listening to other people that are in my same position, especially spiritually. They're not wrong. You know what I'm saying? They're not wrong at all. And I was actually watching another video recently where they were talking about how some people get stuck because they're like a crutch for their current environment or their current way of living, and they never grow to their full potential. They never ever live authentically. Why? Because they not only do they settle, but they have low self-esteem, or they've not built themselves up in a way where they can stand on their own 2 feet. You know what I'm saying? They become I'm trying to find a word without it sounding bad, but they become, almost like a piggyback. Everybody piggybacks off of them, and they sink lower and lower and lower and lower. And it was this one video about, what the chosen ones go through, right? That term is, a little flamboyant, but it's a term that we all understand, that are those that are in that, and that are called, we get what that means, and everything he said was spot on. And it was just so crazy how all these videos, all this knowledge, all these things are coming to me right now because I need it. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these realizations, all these epiphanies keep coming to me of recent because I know that I need it, and I know that it's time for a shift, it's time for a change. And I can't just accept the way it's been. I can't just accept the way it's been, and I'm scrambling, guys. I'm scrambling, trying to figure out, how is this going to work? How am I going to fit all these, how can the puzzle pieces fit perfectly? You know what I'm saying? In such a short period of time. And on top of that, the year is coming to a close. The year is coming to a close. And so naturally, the energy is going to shift again. It's going to keep shifting, until the year comes to a close. But it's really going to be a whole, restart, January to December, the same kind of loop they have us in. So for me, I'm just like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like, wow. Like, I don't know, but I'm excited because let me tell you guys, if this is it, if this is the tipping point where I'm going to have to just launch and I'm going to just have to go all in, then let it be. Let it be. And at this point, I trust with everything in me and out and around me. I trust wholeheartedly that if this is meant to be, the way I know it's supposed to be, and the way that I see it, and the way that I feel it, and just the pure clarity that I have, I know that alignment is going to happen. There's no way that this could be something placed on my heart, my whole being, to do, to breathe, to be, and it not come into fruition. There's just no way. You know what I'm saying? And you all can apply what I'm saying to your own situation. It's like, if something's meant to be, it's gonna be, you know, through hell and high water, like it's gonna happen. So if I'm being pushed to this point where I have to make these big decisions, okay, then let it be. You know, I've got to a point this morning where I'm like, okay, that's just more confirmation for me. You know, everything I'm hearing, everything I'm seeing, all these different conversations, you know, like in real life, off camera, off YouTube, like all these things, like all these different conversations, I'm like, bruh, it's just more confirmation. And people will literally like have this like even like, I'm not going to put too much personal stuff out there, but even like family, like I'll be having these conversations and I'm not even starting these conversations. They'll come to me with these certain conversations. And it's like, bruh, like all these little do they know, all these conversations are just giving me more confirmation. Like everything is just adding more confirmation. So I'm at this point where I'm like, okay, it's happening. You know, it's happening. It's happening, guys. It's happening. And, I don't want to speak too prematurely, but you know, y'all may see me make some moves y'all have never seen. You know what I'm saying? And it may be a situation that I'm just going all in. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going all in, and there's no turning back, you know, because it's meant to be. It's a part of my destiny. It's a part of what I'm supposed to do. And I'm not just speaking just with YouTube. I'm speaking like with a lot of different things in my life that I'm, you know, thinking about, that I'm planning for. It's like, there's no U-turn, you know, there's no turning back. There's nowhere to hide. Like, it's time, you know, it's time for things to happen. So all I can hope and pray is that you guys that genuinely support me with your heart, with your, you know, watching, just in general, all I can hope is that, you know, this energy will carry me where I need to be. You know what I'm saying? Will put me at the right place at the right time with the right people, because it's like, enough is enough. You know, enough is enough. I have so many ideas. I have so many things, guys, that I want to do. Okay, I just checked my battery. I have 6%. 6 number of change. I have so much that I want to do, guys. There's so many things that need to be done. And I keep thinking to myself, when are they going to get done? You know, I keep, you know, I'm not sleeping. I'm up planning, I'm up working, and I ask myself all the time, like, when is this going to happen? You know, there was one thing that if I had more information before I went to college, I probably would have went out of state. You know what I'm saying? I was just putting it out here. It's another random conversation I had today. Like, I probably would have went out of state. You know, I probably wouldn't be in the state that I'm in right now. 6 years ago. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's coming back around, you know, it's coming full circle, guys. And I'm not nervous. I'm not scared. I'm excited. I'm curious. I'm curious to see what the day's going to bring. You know, I'm curious to see where this is going to take me. I'm curious to see what is the next big step, because clearly it's coming. You know, like, I could see it. Like, I don't want to, you see, it's where, like, I'm not as nosy to like force seeing it, or like force using tools to see past it, but like, I have the idea, you know, I have an idea. And so I'm saying to myself, okay, well, when, how, you know what I'm saying? How am I going to pull this off? How is this going to come together? What is it going to take? You know, what is it going to take? And I'm at that point right now. My birthday just passed, you know what I'm saying? I've had a great year. I'm at this point right now where I'm like, bruh, like, I feel like I have to leap into something. I can't tell you guys what. I don't know. I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish I knew. But it's positive. It's positive. And it's a direction. It's something that I feel I'm naturally attracting into my life. It's like a magnetic pull, like a magnetic force. Like I'm naturally getting closer to it. And I know that because of all the other things I've been going through, right? The closer you get, the more the opposition, the more the opposite side is going to convince you that you're not there, but you're not doing it, but you know you're doing it. You know, that's how it's always been, you know, and you know in your gut, you know in your knower that you're closer than ever. Like you're right at the door, you know, you're right at the door, but all you got to do now is jiggle the handle and push the door and open it. And that's where I'm at, guys. I'm at that point right now where I'm like, all I got to do is jiggle the handle and walk through. But I don't know how, you know, I don't know how I'm going to be able to pull it off. So if there's others of you out here, I always feel kind of way about putting on my comments because, you know, I feel like YouTube does not the best job in curating, you know, certain messages, certain things, you know, I don't know. I don't really trust it. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just, guys, I wish I could put this feeling into words. It's like I just woke up, not even woke up, 'cause I didn't even go to sleep. So I'm saying spiritually, like I woke up, you know, from last week, all this began. I felt a shift. I was purging. And now I'm at this place where I'm like, oh my God, you know, like I'm right there. I'm right there. And I may got to take a big leap. I may got to take a big step. I may have to, you know, life is asking a lot of me, you know, I'll put it that way. Like life is asking a lot out of me. And I'm almost like saying back to life, like, well, show me, you know, give me the steps, give me the manual, you know, you give me the steps, you give me the manual, you know, I can do it. But then, you know, as they say, you know, it's like manifestation or faith is not even about, necessarily having all the information. You just kind of have to do it, and then as you're doing it, it will come to you. And that's hard to accept because when you are making a big leap or a big change or a big decision, sometimes you want to know before it happens, how is it going to turn out, or how can you make it best turn out the way you want it to, you know? So yeah, once my voice gets tired, I take a break. So yeah, guys, I've not really slept yet. It's just been one thing after the next, you know, not bad or good. It's just been a lot of like, you know, big decisions and, you know, just positive shifting. And, you know, I could feel that I'm being supported, but at the same time, I'm like, wow, this feels like a lot. You know, I'm looking at it. I'm looking into the future, basically. I'm looking into what I feel, what I know, and I'm like, wow, this is a lot. Like for one woman, not even just person, for a woman, you know, like this is a lot that I feel like responsible for, that I feel like I am having to do. And so my way of handling that is saying to myself, well, if it's meant to be, a way will be made. You know, if I'm meant to, you know, like if this is the destined path or the true way that things go down, like I have to trust that I'll be properly equipped to do that, you know? And so I don't know what you would call that. Would you call that faith? Would you call it manifestation? Would you call that wishful thinking? Would you call it a vision? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But it's a feeling that I really can't describe. It's like, I feel like this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And from this point to get to this point, it's like, the way life is like, it's not mapped out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to go, like, sometimes through hills and valleys and mountains and rivers and all types of, you know, ebbs and flows just to get to one point. One point, you know. If we all knew things beforehand, you would hope you wouldn't have to do that, you know. But even when you have the information, to some degree, you still got to do certain things that seem unnecessary. You know, the pain, unnecessary. The purging, you know, you wish it was unnecessary, but you still have to go through it. And it's like, but why? You know, this is where I want to be. Just get me here, you know. And the way life is this whole game is orchestrated is, no, you got to go here, you got to go down, you got to turn, you got to go up, you got to go back down, you got to, it's like a maze. It's like a game, you know. So I know what I gotta, what I want, what I would do. I know what I would, if you know, if everything was perfect in anyone's life, like, we all could say what we would do, but that's not how life is right this millisecond. You know what I'm saying? Like, it still has to be assumed and put into action, and there still has to be other moving parts, right, that support that action. So it's not just clicking your fingers and, you know, you're a multimillionaire, or, you know, if you want to be a model, you're a model, or if you want to be a doctor, you're a doctor. Like, it's not that kind of thing. It's like, there's a process, you know what I'm saying? There's a process that we have to go through in life. And that makes it much harder, because that process could take you anywhere. It could do anything with you. And that's not even going to get you to the point that you want to get at. It's just the whole journey of it seems kind of fake to me, because you know what you're here for. You know what you want to do. So why is there all these, I don't want to say delay, but it feels like a delay to me. It feels like it's a block. It feels like it's something that is a waste of time, when if you just got there, you get there. But no, like, life wants to toy you. Life wants to throw these curveballs. Life wants to just kind of see how high your tolerance to pain is, and keep jabbing you and keep messing with you and keep, you know, and that's the part of life that just irritates me. It makes me tired. Is like, it's silly, you know, because that doesn't do anything, you know what I'm saying? But then they say that, oh, but that process made you stronger, or that thing you're going through is what got you to that point. So they say. So I trust that what's for me is for me. You know, I don't sweat anymore over little petty things with, you know, the analytics and this and that. And I've done it for too long now. I know how it goes, you know, and I wish I could say more, but I just can't. I literally can't. Until that time, and until things are worked out, I can't say certain things. But I just want you guys to know that I'm fully aware. You know what I'm saying? I'm fully aware of what needs to be done, what has to happen, what I know that I know. But it's just this game of life, and what comes with it that's stopping me, or that's delaying me, or that's trying to confuse me, or that's making things, in my opinion, harder than they should. You know what I'm saying? And that's for majority of people. You know, life feels like it's a maze. It's a puzzle. It's a freak show. It's a game, you know, and it's like, but why? You know, why did I have to go through so much just to get something that seems so easy? It seems so, and it depends. It depends upon how big it is. It depends upon what you're going for. Like, you know, naturally some things are longer than others. Just like if someone's going to college. I'll use this example. If someone wants to go to college and their degree is 4 years, but they want to do 1 year, well, guess what? The rules and the college and the law has it written down as 4, right? Just an example. So if you want it to be a year, but the whole program is 4 years, you can't change that. Only thing else you could do to try to buck the system is take more classes than you should. That's more pressure. It's more money than you should spend at a certain amount of time to expedite it. So the quickest you can go from 4 to a lower number would be maybe 2.5 or 3. But it's still not 1, you know, it's still not 1. So the way it's set up is like a trap, you know, like a game, because in reality, you would want to control that, right? You rather just be in that, just for example, you rather be in that program for a year versus 4 years. But they say that it's a 4-year program. So even if you try to negotiate and take more classes, it's still not going to be a year. It's still not going to be exactly what you want, right? So it's stuff like that I'm trying to, it's hard to explain, but that's basically what I'm trying to say is like, there's certain things, there's certain predisposed little jibby jabs in the game that they set up that no matter how hard you try, it's still going to take time. That's the point that I'm making with the college degree example. It's like, there's only so many tricks you can do, you know, until the system or the game of life pushes back at you and says, no, this is what you're going to do. And you know what you can do. You know what you got to do. But everything else in this 3D matrix, this 3D world is saying, no, but you can't. And every now and then you'll get a shortcut, right? Every now and then you'll manifest a way out. But, you know, a lot of the times there's a buck, you know, there's a stoppage, there's a block, there's a sneaky thing with it, you know? So that's kind of like how I feel, is like, I prefer it to be 1, but the rule says it's 4. You know, that's just an example. So I don't know, you know, but regardless of all those stupid rules and blockages and delays or whatever, I know that like what's for me is for me. And that gives me so much peace and so much confidence because I've seen this in my own life. I've seen it in you all's lives. I know that this is how it goes. You know, if it's supposed to be for you, the door will open and things will work and things will happen and there will be a positive momentum, you know. May not be as quick as we want it, may not be as what we want at that time, but guess what? It will come to pass, it will bloom, it will appear in our life because it's happened to me. You know, it's different things have happened in my life where it has happened. So I don't know. It's just life. What can I say, guys? It's just life. Life has these curveballs. Life has these silly little setups that we have to all go through. No matter how much, you know, manifestation power we have, there's just certain logistics of life, if you will, or things that are embedded in the code of life, how life is, that we can't escape. And it's nothing to be upset about, nothing to be sad about. It's just you acknowledge it and you move past it. You acknowledge it, you work with it the best of your ability, and you move past it. You don't dwell on it. You don't get sad about it. You don't let them lower your frequency or your vibration or your hope or your positivity just because they want to enforce or press something down upon you. That's the key, is you don't let it get to you. You don't let it drain you. You don't let it trick you out of your spot. You don't let it convince you to be negative. You actually make it push you to be, you actually make it push you to be more positive. So before my phone dies on me, I'm going to get off here. But anyway, guys, that is the gist of it. So if my comments are open, please comment respectfully. you know, on topic. You know, there's different videos for different things. Just, you know, keep it on topic. If you're going to comment, if my comments are open, if I feel led to, we'll see how I feel. But that's just basically what I wanted to say, guys. So yeah, you know, that is where I'm at. That's where a lot of you guys are at. And it's just time to really just kind of like face the music, you know, and realize that some things in life are just life, and we can't, some things are just set up blocks, you know, whether it's a person, whether it's whatever. Some things are just kind of embedded to try to mess with our head. You know, it's put there on purpose to mess with our head, you know, to psych us out of our rights, our personalization, our freedom. It's put there purposely to mess with us. And we can't get mad about it. We have to acknowledge it and move smarter, move quicker, move more deliberately, more intentionally, but not get stressed out at the same time. Like, work on it, but don't let it stress you. Because if you get stressed, and you're going to have a lower immune system, you're going to get sick, you're not going to be healthy enough to you know, to support yourself. So it's a very delicate balance that this life is, especially for those who are like us. You know, it is something that is a very delicate balance, and it's incredibly, I hate to use the word hard, but that's the word that most humans, I think, would use, is hard or difficult. But I don't use those words. I just say that it's just how this game is, this game of life. You know, that's just how it is. But I don't see it as a bad thing. I see it as a confirmation that, okay, you're on the right path. Because if you were not on the right path, X, Y, and Z would have not happened. And because it's happening, you're being pushed in the direction you should have been in, or or more on the path that you're already walking on. You're just going closer and closer to it anyway. You're not being stopped. You're just getting closer and closer and closer anyway. So it's all working for your good, whether you realize it or not. So on that note, I'm gonna stay positive. Y'all stay positive. I'll be back on here later. We'll see what goes down today. We'll see what I think, you know, what decisions I make. You know, I'm sure it's gonna be probably closer than ever. I'm excited. We'll see. All right. Love y'all. Bye.